Hello, everybody. I'm going to read something. Is there anybody here who's coming to join me today to read? I'll share the screen and show you what I'm reading about money. Different people do different things with money. Sometimes people inherit a lot of money, and sometimes people win the lottery and get money that way. And we're going to read about one family or one couple who won a lot of money, and there are some kind of jokes about how easy it is for them to spend it all. Sometimes just a small amount of that money would be a lot of money for most people, but it's quite possible to go through all of that money and be carried away. Hello. Hi there, Alberto.
Hi, teacher.
Hello there. I'm just trying to hear you. I can just about hear you, but you're not very loud. Hello, everybody. So, have you ever heard about anybody who's won the lottery and then spent it all?
Sorry, I haven't heard you.
Have you ever heard of anybody winning the lottery?
Oh no, I don't believe in a lottery, and I don't earn. I don't spend my money in this.
Well,
Sorry.
I think that's very wise of you, because I wouldn't spend my money on it because
Yeah.
maybe some of the lottery money goes to a good cause in my country, because they collect the lottery money and they do things with it for the country. For example, they renovate some of the buildings, historic buildings, but I'm not so sure that it's a good idea, and I don't really agree with the lottery at all. So you're a little bit against lotteries, are you?
Not against, but I don't believe in this, and I don't earn. I don't spend the money in this. I don't know.
I don't do it either.
Yeah.
I'm against it. Occasionally in my life, I might gamble on a football match or a horse race, but only occasionally, a few times. But I don't really agree with the lottery. I think I have a reason for not agreeing with the lottery and not doing the lottery. Um, do you have any particular reasons for avoiding the lottery?
I think it's because the education my parents teach me not to spend money, and then it's logical. And it's typical spend money in lottery on Christmas, for example. It's very typical here. It's
Well, a lot of people spend money on lottery tickets in
yeah.
England and in Europe and in China. I know it's a very big gambling and spending money, but I I don't really like some things about the lottery. I think that the prizes are far too big. What do you think?
Well, it goes to 28 euros or something like that. It's not forbidden for a worker, but I don't know.
I think
20
that
euros.
we have a culture in the world of worshipping too much money, wanting to have millions, not just some money, 1,000 or something, but millions. And I would personally be in favour of changing the lottery system so that more prizes were available, more prizes were awarded or given, but not just one great big massive super prize of 15 million or 20 million pounds, but much more prizes all the time of 1,000, 2,000. These kind of prizes I think would be better, because I think we worship money too much these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a form to hand out the money of the world. Yeah. The state sells you the ticket, the lottery ticket, and you spend the money in this, and the state have money to repair what you said. Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, in some countries they don't even do that. I feel in another country, in some countries, I would be very loath to do it. I would not want to do the lottery because I think that private companies run the lottery and make a large profit from it. Or governments might make profit from it and not use that money in the right way. So I'm suspicious on two counts, really. First of all, I would like to know what's happening to that money. And secondly, I think that we shouldn't promote a culture of worshipping huge amounts of money.
Yeah.
It would be better if we had lots of small prizes. Do you think today that people worship money and worship celebrities too much?
Yeah, sure.
Do you think it's changed from the past? I feel it's changed from the past. I feel it wasn't the same in the past, but maybe that's an illusion. What do you think? Is it the same, or has it changed in recent years?
Yeah, it's an illusion, but it's real. Well, we watch on TV. We watch all the days. Anything. Things that we have to have, and we need money for this, and the more things you watch, the more money you need, and it's so important to have money to spend it that someone invented the rules and the lottery. There are private lottery now also.
You know, things have changed a lot in my lifetime. I think when I was young, that your social class or your the way people judged you was not anything related to money. And I think today people are more obsessed with money, and they will look at somebody and judge them by how much they are worth as in money, rather than the person they are. And I think that when I was young, there were people who had quite a lot of money, but they weren't really respected so much, and some other people had less money, far less money, just an ordinary amount, and they were respected as in the community. But today I feel that money drives people a lot more than the past.
Yeah, and saving money was quality. It was an important quality, but it isn't. Now. And now the important thing is to have things, and then you have to spend the money.
Well, you know, I don't know if you're going to agree with this article, because the style of this article is almost making fun of this culture of money. And they are speaking about, in a way, casually about large sums of money. as if 1 million or 100 millions is not enough pound. It's not enough money. You're going to just run out. You're going to need more and more and more money. So they're making a bit of fun, I think, about this kind of idea that the dream that many people have of being super rich is a dream, but maybe even that dream is not such a good target anyway. Maybe it's not going to really solve everything in your life. So he's writing this in a style which is slightly making fun of this culture, I think. So he might say some things which we don't quite agree with, and I'm sure he doesn't even really agree with. He's more or less making some observations, I think, about it. So let's try and read some of it and see if we can at least understand some of it and make some observations ourselves. So can you see the page? Do you have the page open?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, so let's read the first paragraph and then we'll discuss different paragraphs as we go through. So read paragraph 1, could you?
Yeah, good. And those will soon find that 101 million is not enough. Wasn't it Catherine Zeta-Jones who once said, "A million isn't much for people like us"? It sounded outrageous.
Outrageous, outrageous. Do you know this word, outrageous?
I think it is strange, or
well, it's
not only strange, but
yeah, not only strange. How can you say about outrageous?
Rare, or
not really rare and strange. It's more to do with making people annoyed about what you say. So, for example, I remember in one of my other pages, I had the word outrageous, and the sentence was, "It's outrageous. They can't cut our salaries." So the boss decided to reduce the salaries, and then everybody was up in arms. We can say up in arms. You know, very against the whole idea. So, do you know a noun for this word? So outrageous is an adjective. So if I say it was an, what's the noun?
I don't know.
It's just outrage. It was an outrage. And outrageous. So it's really about people being up in arms. That's an interesting phrase, up in arms. They are standing up and making a song and dance about it. So they are quite angry about the whole situation. So, okay, let's read on there.
Yeah, it sounded as outrageous at the time, but I suspect that the words should be written on the envelope of every lottery winner when the check is handed over, because it is easy enough to spend a lot.
To spend the lot, yes, to spend... instead of saying to spend the lot, could you change those last two words and keep the meaning?
To spend the amount of money.
Maybe just two words. Could you just change the lot into another two words and keep the same meaning? Because I can see another common way of finishing this, to spend maybe all of it. It all. To spend it all.
Yeah.
The lot is all of it.
Yeah.
So, they're warning people that you might change your lifestyle and suddenly find that you change, and 1 million suddenly becomes an amount of money which is not a big dream. You know, when I was a boy, I remember at school when I was about 7 years old, there was a very interesting lesson. And the lesson was about 1 million.
1 million.
Yes, and some people maybe have a little problem conceptualizing what exactly 1 million is as a number,
Yeah.
because we know some things about a million. But how could you imagine exactly, not in money, but maybe in money, but in other things as well? Can you speak to me about 1 million? What is 1 million, and how can we imagine that amount?
Well, 1 million is 1,000 by 1,000. It's maths, but
Yeah, so mathematically we know that it's 1,000,000, but for example, if in the program or the lesson I had at school, I remember it even today, they gave some examples to help us children imagine exactly what a million is. And then later in my life, when people say there are a million people in China,
yeah.
I can make a vision of how many that is. And so, have you got any idea about what a thousand looks like?
Wow,
Can you visualize it?
it's difficult, yeah. You have to put it in some rooms, not only in one. I don't know.
I'll tell you how I can imagine how many people there are in China. First of all, I remembered when I was 7 that one of the things the teacher said was, how many cubic centimeters are there in a cubic meter? How many cubic centimeters are there in a
I'm doing. I'm doing the translation.
So we're speaking about volume here, and
1,000. I think so. Yeah, 1,000.
well, there's a lot more than 1,000, because how many centimeters are there in a meter?
No.
There's 100 centimeters. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So
yeah, a million.
So we've got 1 million, yes.
Yeah,
So 1 million is the answer.
Sorry, yeah.
So if you imagine a cubic meter, a box on the street, and every little sugar lump is one person in China. So you can see 1 million people in one box, and then put that box in the street, and how many do you need for the population of China? Say 1,000 million. How long a street with these boxes?
I don't know.
Well, you need 1,000, so that's a kilometre. So you have 1 kilometre street, and all the way along this street are the boxes, 1 cubic metre, and each person in China is 1 sugar lump.
Terrible.
So there's a lot of them, and now if they all jump at the same time, the shock wave will be like a massive tsunami, and we will all be killed. So I want to send a message to China now. Please don't jump at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it could be quite dangerous for us.
I know the sentence, yeah.
But you know, the population in China is stabilizing a bit now. Mm-hmm. So other places, the population is increasing quite quickly.
Yeah.
So let's move on then. So we're speaking about maybe ways of wasting money. We could waste a lot of money here. Hello there, Vincenzo. Hello, and hello, Elfin. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So let's move along and ask Vincenzo. You've just joined us now. I saw you enter the room. So we're speaking about money and how we can change our attitude to money if we suddenly win the lottery or something like this.
Okay.
I actually wanted to compare this man later. This man here has a completely different perception of money. Well, he's dead actually, but he was an aristocrat.
Mhm.
But he had to change his whole attitude to money because in the past in Britain, aristocrats were rich because they had lots of land. And Harold Wilson came along in the socialist government in the 60s, and they all had a huge problem because of tax and different rules and regulations. Well, it's interesting that he was very successful with his money, but his money was much less than some of the lottery winners. Some of the lottery winners win more money than he had, but he stayed rich and employed lots of people and had the biggest estate and a zoo, and everything worked well. But some other people can't keep their money, they spend it all. Let's read on anyway. So could you read the second paragraph here?
Okay. Angie Dawes and
it's Dawes actually, that name, Dawes. And Angie Dawes.
Angie Dawes, okay, and her fiancé Dave.
Fiancé, that's a kind of French word, isn't it? But you know what it means?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know what it means. Yeah. Angie Dawes and her fiancé Dave, who have just landed £101 million in the Euro lottery, had
Scarcely, that's a rarely, scarcely. But you know, it doesn't mean rare here. Scarce means rare. If something is scarce, it's unusual, but scarcely is used a different way in this text. See if you can read on and tell me how that word is used. Is it like unusual, or is it like something else?
I don't know. I don't know the word.
Well, it's used here. The word scarce means rare. Scarce means rare, but here scarcely is being used in the same way as we might use hardly. Had only just. You know, like only just now. They'd scarcely cracked open their first bottle of champagne, so they'd only just. It's can be used that way sometimes. Sometimes adverbs, to understand the adverbs, we have to read the whole sentence.
Okay. Had scarcely cracked open their first bottle of champagne before they were making plans to run through it like they were expecting a winning ticket every year.
Yes, so they started making plans as if they were going to just spend and spend and spend. Champagne is usually pronounced champagne in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, yeah, let's keep rolling then, and I'll go. Well, Elfin is gone. Are you back here, Elfin? So let's go on, Vincenzo. Elfin, are you there? He's getting his headset on. So I'll roll the screen down a bit, and we'll read on. So, well, actually, Vincenzo, could you just read those two lines to finish off before the photo there?
Okay. What with handing over $1 million to his friend and $1 million to debt, and they say they've got 20 deserving friends in mind. By my reckoning.
By my reckoning, that's like I think.
By my reckoning, they've already only got £81 million left for themselves.
Yes, so this article is really saying, okay, don't go crazy because you've won 100 million, because all money has a limit, and if you could easily spend 100 million in one go. You could just go down the town one day and say, hey, I'll buy that football club or something, and there it's all gone. So you have to be careful, as they're saying. So have you heard the word reckon before?
No, it's the first time for me.
Sometimes casually people say, I reckon, to mean I think so.
I think so, or we can use also, in my opinion, it's the same.
Yeah, so it's all to do with levels of formality. So really, in my opinion, that's slightly more formal than I think so, and I reckon is it slightly less formal. So different situations, different ways of chatting, you use different words.
Mm-hmm.
So
when we talk, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
when
I'm
we
sorry,
talk.
it's okay.
Okay. When we talk with a friend, we can use, in my reckoning.
That sounds a bit strange. My reckoning. They usually say, "I reckon," or "but by my reckoning" is slightly strange. Actually, that's a bit unusual. But often I hear people say, "Well, I reckon so," or "I reckon it's a good idea." But I think very often the most common is probably just "I think so," or just "yes," something like that. But yes, you hear "I reckon" quite often. And by my reckoning is more like my calculation. I've just kind of figured it out that it's like this by my reckoning. That's like the Ready Reckoner is actually a calculator, kind of calculator. So it's linked to recognize, and it's also linked to the idea of kind of estimating or calculating too. Okay, Elfin, are you there on the mic? No sound. I don't have any sound from you. So when you get your mic on, just let us hear you, please. Meanwhile, we'll go back down Alberto.
Yeah.
So Alberto, can you read on for the next one?
Yeah. It will be gone before you know it. Dave Dawes and Angela Dawes from Wisbech, Cambridgeshire, celebrate.
Wisbech, Cambridgeshire. Actually, shire at the end is a typical place name pronunciation, because if I speak about the shires, then I use the full word shire, like county. It's an old form of county. It's an old word for county, but you still hear it sometimes because it's, you know, place names don't change so quickly, and so. But when it's on the end of a county name, my county doesn't have one actually. My county is called Kent, so I don't have a shire at the end. But when it's at the end, like Derbyshire, Cambridgeshire, it's sheer, just like a sheer drop. But here it's an old word for county. So Wisbech, Cambridgeshire.
Mm-hmm. I know. Cambridgeshire celebrate winning 101 million and two.
Don't say "and" there. I think you should say "and" after the hundreds each time if you want. So you could say 101, just an not an "and," but just 101,203,670 pence. 70 pence. Well,
70 pence.
I'm sure that 70 pence is going to be very important.
Yeah, I think so. In last weekend's Euromillions lottery.
Euro. When we speak in English, we say euro.
Euro.
Yeah.
Euro.
How do you say that? How do you say Europe in your language?
Euro.
Euro. Yeah, we don't start with that sound. We start with a y, like university, European, Euro.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Elfin, are you on the mic now? No sound. No sound. Sorry. So just try to fix it, and okay, Alberto. Let's roll on to the next one. We've got lots to read today, so let's do another one with you, please.
Yeah. Then there is the alarming personal wish list.
A wish list. That's something you want to have. All the things you want to have. A wish list. Make a wish list. Wish list. Okay.
Dave wants a bed in Chelsea within easy reach of his favorite football ground, Stamford Bridge.
So what's a pad?
What's a pad? I don't know.
It's a very informal word. Come round to my pad. It's like my place. My pad is one word that used to be used for this kind of my place. So he wants to buy a, but you know, this is the joke here a bit because a pad is something quite informal, not grand. But he's speaking, like making a kind of understatement because this so-called pad in Chelsea is probably going to be some kind of penthouse suite or something like that. So let's read on there. Pad in Chelsea.
Yeah, it's about football only. A place in football or
Well, he wants to live next to the ground.
yeah. As everyone knows who has been house hunting in London lately, that will set him back a bow or two.
Ah, now this is an interesting sentence. I'd like you to try and figure out what that says. That will set him back a... Well, I think I'll have to tell you what a bob is. Do you have any idea what a bob is?
No, a pound or
No, it's a shilling, really. But even a shilling you might not know. Because it's something to do with the old money. So there are some words still knocking around, which are related to old money. So this word we don't use much today. It's a kind of style that he's writing casually, and it's a bit strange because nobody, after decimalisation, we don't use bob. Bob is an old word for a shilling. And do you know, there's a word we use for a pound, which is an informal word for £1. Do you know how people in England might refer to £1? Like in America, they speak about bucks sometimes.
yeah.
But in England, a buck is $1. So what is a pound?
I don't know.
It's a quid. So
Six quid.
£6. And a bob is an old shilling because we used to have pounds, shillings, and pence, but we don't have shillings anymore. So the next thing to look at is the phrasal verb there. What is the phrasal verb?
Who has preposition?
I'm looking at set him back. What do you think that means?
I don't know.
If I say that will set you back a few quid, what do you think that means? He's thinking about buying a place to live in Chelsea, and the comment is that will set you back a few quid. Any ideas, Vincenzo? Do you think you know what that might mean?
No, teacher. No. I never heard before.
Well, sometimes in question form, they might say, how much will it cost? And informally, they might say, oh, it's going to set you back quite a lot. So to set you back is to the amount of money you have. So set you back equals cost you. There are lots of expressions. I think I could make 20 expressions about money. Like sometimes I've heard people ask about how much something will cost.
Sorry, teacher. Teacher?
I'm listening, yeah.
Okay. Could you explain with an example?
Well, the text is a good example, so let me give another example. I have to I have to buy myself a new kitchen because the old kitchen is old now and I need to buy a new one, but it's going to set me back about a few thousand. It's going to cost me. So it's going to very informal. I hear people say it's going to set one of my favourite expressions about money in London is that when somebody wants to buy something, or they have to buy it and they've got it now and they're going to pay for it, they say, it's for how much will that be? How much be? Sometimes say, but it's kind of colloquial. But set you back is common. How much will that set you back? How much will it cost? So though you can get relatively cheap properties for just over a single million, say just over $1 million, in this kind of area, in such a desirable area, they could easily spend 25 million just on a flat. Elfin, are you there now?
Yes, I'm there.
Ah, right. Would you like to read on about the 25 million?
Okay. 25 million pounds is the incredible asking price for one newly refurbished text. Oh, the text keeps away. Sorry. What I do? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
refurbished triplex apartment, which has recently come on the market, an easy walk away from the ground. Hardly a palace. It has just 3 bedrooms, but that should be enough if the couple settle their differences with Angie's ex-husband and son and invite them to come to stay.
So yes, they're saying that it's a ridiculous price because if you want to live in this part of town, you have to spend 25 million, and it's not that much. It's not really that special.
No.
In size. It's only 3 bedrooms, and it's quite a nice place, and it will be very plush and smart inside, but hardly 25 million, you would think.
Yeah.
So, and can you read the next lines there?
Yeah. But they will be a lot poorer for the purchase of 81 million pounds, less 25, and they are down to 56. You see how easy it is to spend. Yeah.
So 101 million sounds like stacks of cash, but
Yeah.
and it is, isn't it? If you probably even 1 million could just keep you going for the rest of your life, but it is possible to change your habits and misjudge everything, and there have been some people who have done this. I've heard stories of people who have won the lottery and then 3 or 4 years later they're back to normal again. Have you ever heard of a story like that?
I have heard it, yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let me move the screen down. There they are with a big cheque. Royal Bank of Scotland.
Yeah.
So let's go. I can't remember who was reading before, but Vincenzo, can you just go back? I'll go left to right as usual. I think I changed the order just then. Sorry, Alberto, but I'll come around again. So Vincenzo, can you carry on for us?
Okay. From about their need, yeah?
Yes, please, yeah.
Okay. They need to buy a car to carry that check for a start.
Yeah, you see, is that serious? No, the whole thing isn't serious. They're just pointing out in a kind of a funny game, really, how you could, with the emphasis on could, you could blow the lot. Have you heard about blow the lot?
No.
Does that make any sense to you if I say you could blow the lot? The word blow is often used to mean waste your money. Check if it's in the dictionary. Blow your cash, because
To accelerate?
Accelerate. Well, I'm confused about that, but I'm going to look myself if you can't see something, because I want to see if I find it in the dictionary. then it means it's a kind of global English. And if it's not in the dictionary, then it means it isn't. But I think it will be, because I hear this all over the English-speaking world. They all say it, so it must be in the dictionary. Can you see it in your dictionary, to blow an amount of money? I'll have a look. Well, it can be to destroy something, but I'm looking for something linked to money.
To blow a lot.
Well, I can't see it straight away, but it's often used to waste something. There's so many entries actually for this word blow. It's an interesting word. Blow the whistle on somebody. There's about 50 different blows in the dictionary. So anyway, if you blow it, you mess it up. So it's, and if you blow a lot of money, you mess it up and spend it all. You waste it. So let's go on. So Vincenzo, let's read on there.
Okay. Then there's the house in the sun which every lottery winner has to have. This couple had set their hearts on Portugal. It seemed churlish to spend.
Churlish.
Churlish.
That's an interesting word. Churlish. But when you pronounce the word heart, let's have a look at that first. The couple have set their hearts on Portugal. Heart is like a car. Not hurt. Hurt yourself in an accident. Is like a bird, but heart is like a car. And a lot of people say their hurts, but it's their hearts. They have set their hearts. If you set your heart on something, what does it mean? Elfin, I can't hear you, Elfin. Elfin, your mic's muted. Could you click it? So, what if you set your heart on something? It means you make up your mind that you want it. You feel like you really want it. You set your heart on it.
Do it with passion.
Pardon, Elfin?
Do something with passion?
Yes,
like that? Yeah.
With passion, if you set your heart on it, you really decide, oh, I really want that, yes.
Yeah.
And if something is churlish, well, how do we describe this word, churlish? If you say somebody's being churlish, you think they are saying something, they shouldn't bother saying that, you know, what? Oh, don't worry, don't say that, because it's like being pedantic. You're picky. You're not really. Don't be serious. Churlish. So let's see if we can find an example of that word. It's a bit kind of pedantic in a rude way. You know, trying to being awkward as well. Something like that.
It's pedantic.
Well, I think they're being really a bit silly now, because I'm sure I could find myself a foothold in the Algarve for less than this much. But I suppose it depends what you mean by what you want. They want to impress their millionaire friends. Let's go to the next part now. Alberto, can you pick up for us?
Yeah, from it seems.
Let's start here now.
I have, yeah, the next paragraph. I have found just the place for them. There is a lovely country estate for sale in Santa Barbara the next, for getting on for £7 million. It even has its own chapel, so they could get married there, but of course they would only have 49 millions of pounds left.
49 million, yeah, singular. 49 million left. So read on then. We understand that. So we're blowing all of our money. We won't have any left soon. Let's see if we can spend it all in the next paragraph. So never mind.
Never mind. That's quite enough money to fill up the garages at the property with his and her sports cars. A must-have acquisition for every right-thinking millionaire. A top-down, top-of-the-range Ferrari always looks at home against a Mediterranean backdrop. Something like the 599 GTO, the fastest ever road-going model designed by the famous Italian firm. It would be surprising if Angie and Dave were not tempted by such a beautiful car, even if a couple of those duly customized
customized. Do you know this word customized? If
Yes.
something is customized, what is it?
prepare the car or
Specially
yeah,
for you,
Mm.
yes. And here we've got, we'll set them back again. See, we've got that set them back again here. Cost them. We'll set them back at least 2.6 million. So when we see we'll set back or set somebody back, it means their money will go down.
It goes,
It will cost them, yes.
yeah, bringing their fortune down.
Fortune.
Down to just about 46 million.
Great, okay, so we understand it all. So let's carry on reading. Elfin, can we carry on reading there?
Yes. And what about the stabling? The Portuguese estate is crying out for a couple of horses. Since the couple have obviously got a taste for gambling, they might even want to put them with a trainer and see if they run home. Horses come expensive. They can easily set you back several millions, even if you do damage to win the Derby.
Yes, I say Derby, but you can say Derby. But
Derby,
yeah,
Derby.
that's Derby's more American. Now, yeah, so they cost a lot of money, even if you do manage to win a big prize, because stabling and horses and things like this. So we're spending it all. So let's move on. Vincenzo, can we come to think of it? So, and by the way, we had another set you back. So we've had 3 set you backs now. So soon they will be set back to 0. So Vincenzo, come to think of it.
Okay, come to think of it, at 20 kilometers from Faro, the house is a little convenient for the beach. Angie, with her blonde hair and light, then looks like the sort of sun worshipper to warm this will matter. So there is nothing for it but to send Dave out to order a yacht. Camper and Nicholson, the top brokers, have a lovely 62.5 meter streamlined 7-cabin model.
Hey, you've given them an extra cabin. That's very generous of you. Modified it. You've modified it.
Model for sale for just about 50 million. Last year's top of the range is called Icon, in case they are interested, but whoops, if they buy that, the lucky couple will already have run out of money completely.
Money, say money. Money, yes. And by the way, you didn't quite catch that full stop there, that period there, see? Because you read through it, like last year's top of the range, it is called, so you were reading that through there, but actually you should, intonate it like that. You know, it's just a little mistake, but last year's top of the range. Drop it and then start again. Great. So there we are. There's the private jet. Where is that? Can you see this? The place below there? Maybe it's Mediterranean, is it? I don't know where that is. I can't recognise it from that shot.
Is it in Portugal?
I don't know, because I don't really know what all of the coast of Portugal looks like, but it must be, because they're speaking about Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Probably. It's in Portugal.
Lisbon has hills immediately, doesn't it? But I don't know what Lisbon looks like there. I know what the city looks like, but I don't know what it looks like from up there. Okay, so let's go back. There we are, high flyers. So high flyers, Alberto, can you read high flyers?
Yeah. High flyers, even private jets, don't come cheap.
Don't say private, because 8, remember, we only say 8 at the end of verbs, like to estimate and appreciate, but otherwise we say more ert. So private jets.
Private jets. Better make do with something cheaper, like the MY Petrol and Snip at 20 million, included of course tender and toys. They've still got to crew it, maintain it and moor it, and that cost at least $1 million a year in the best port of the Met.
Okay, let's hold on there. So cost, well actually it's interesting that you said coast, because usually people do that the other way. They read coast and they don't say the diphthong sound O, they say cost. But you did it back to front for me, because most people find the O sound, R, easy, but the O difficult. So you should have said cost, not coast. And that costs at least $1 million. Now, there's a phrasal verb there, to make do with. Who can tell me what that means if I say, we'll have to make do with it? I could say another one, which is a similar phrasal verb, to put up with, to make do with.
To make do?
Yes, if I make do with something, what am I doing? They're being slightly sarcastic because they're saying we should make do with this one. Maybe it's not as good as we would really wish to have.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have something and you really hoped for something better, you could use this. You could say, we'll make do with it for now.
No.
But,
kind of second choice.
Yeah, or maybe put up with it for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
But put up with is sometimes tolerate, a slightly different thing. If you make do with something, then you just say, okay, that's all right, but I would have liked to have a better one, but there isn't a better one right now. I'll have this, so I'll make do with it. Right, Elfin, can you carry on reading there? You see how many?
You see how many wonderful luxuries there are out there to spend your money on. And the trouble is, once you taste a high life, it's difficult to know when to stop.
Keep going.
According to Angie's ex-husband, she has always had a taste for the good things. Yes, he may be being jealous because he is unlikely to get a handout, but what woman doesn't like the matching underwear she is said to have worn on dates? My goodness.
Yeah. So have they blown all their money now? I don't know. Yeah. So now, Vincenzo, can we carry on? So upgrade.
Mm-hmm. Upgrade. Angie wants to swap her 1800 engagement ring for something more sparkly, and she's already planning to swap in her engagement ring. Her 1800 looks perfectly decent to me, and anyway, it's the food that counts.
It's the thought that counts.
Thought that counts. But if they want something better, why not? Especially as they have a world 25 million left to spend on it.
Yeah. By the way, this word swap in is a bit strange for me. I would say trade in, or just swap. I don't see swap in this form, so I don't like that. I would say swap something, exchange, but not swap in. We say trade in. So let's carry on. Read another one then, please. Let's see if we can. How much have we got to go? We've got so we can do one each and see if we can understand it all. So carry on, Vincenzo here.
Okay, perhaps Angie might like Liz Taylor's Dazzling. 23.19 carat.
Let's say it like this. Liz Taylor's dazzling 33.19 or something like this, but the dazzling has to describe this because the dazzling is an adjective, so don't stop. Dazzling 33.19 carat ravishing square diamond. Okay.
Dazzling 23.
Not dot, but point.
0.19 carat ravishing square diamond, which would make any neighbor sit up. That's coming up for auction soon, and it's expected to fetch over 2 million. And Dave might like to round off the purchase with the 2 billion suite of emeralds. Necklace and matching
necklace around your neck, and necklace
and matching earrings given to
earrings, yes.
Earrings given to Liz by husband Richard Burton.
Husband,
Husband.
Money, husband.
Yeah. Just a drop in the ocean. If you have a whole, 21 million left.
A whole 21 million. That's like the whole, yes. And just a drop in the ocean. What does that mean? Just a drop in the ocean. Insignificant. Just hardly anything. Just a drop in the ocean.
Yeah.
So 2 million is nothing. Just a drop in the ocean. And auction and purchase, like surface. No ace at the end. Okay. So we can finish this, I think, and then we're done. That's great. So let's go on. Alberto, can you take but of course?
Yes. But of course, the couple must remember put something on one side for the holiday jet.
Yeah, there's a 2 missing, isn't there? They must remember to put something. Yeah. Okay, read on.
No bona fide millionaire wants to wait in line at Ryanair when there may not even be a loo.
A loo. What is a loo?
Toilet.
I don't know.
It's a toilet. Yeah. A loo on board. Okay.
Yeah. There is nothing for it but to splash out on a little Learjet, though the way funds and dwelling it will have to be pre-owned. A sweet little four-seater is to be had for around 10 million without the pilot.
Pilot, yeah.
A snip at the price.
That's an expression, a snip at the price, like it's quite cheap at the price.
Yeah. Then there's the leather luggage, the wardrobe to match.
Luggage. Wardrobe. Luggage.
Yeah. The 5-star food. And so and on everything that goes with luxury lifestyle.
Luxury, luck. Luxury sounds like luck, lottery, luck. Great. So just the end there then, Elfin, Angie and Dave.
Okay. Angie and Dave.
You're muted.
Yeah. Angie and Dave may not be planning to be quite so extravagant, but I am accelerating.
Extravagant is second syllable. Extravagant.
Extravagant. But I am extravagant to make a serious point. It is that money is easy enough to spend, especially if you are not used to have it. And pretty soon, however much you have won, you could be down to nothing at all. It has happened before. The true millionaire lifestyle costs millions, and just like Catherine Zeta-Jones might have said, 110 pounds of them goes nowhere these days.
Well, you know, I
Okay.
think I'd like to compare another time, but it's the end
Mhm.
now. But I'd like to tell you about this man because the Marquis of Bath. People might feel that he is very privileged because he was an aristocrat and a lord, but actually, maybe hundreds of years ago, it would be true. But in today's Britain, it's rather the opposite. He has to really, these people have to really
Yeah.
change their ways. They have to change and open their houses and run a business, and many of them have lost their money.
Yeah.
But some of them have adapted, and he has. He's dead now, but he did very well. And he was an
Mhm.
eccentric. You can tell by the way he looks.
It looks like, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks for coming, and that was well read, and it was good to read. So we remember one or two things, like what was that word that came up lots and lots of times, meaning it will cost you.
Yeah.
Do you remember the one? 3 times it came up, saying it costs you, and what words were they? It will
Sets me back.
set you back. Yes, it will set me back or set you back. Yes.
Back.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
So catch you
Sure.
later. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank